Now, this is one I want to share this video real quick, guys. This is pretty cool.
Started at 45 seconds.
45 seconds?
45 seconds.
Anybody heard of Dave Ramsey?
Yeah.
Clown.
He's having a big argument with him.
For good reason. So just so you guys know, he has some pretty choice words about VA
You
loan.
need to connect to the speaker.
Now,
Oh,
it's
go to your settings.
serving veterans and being a veteran advocate doesn't mean you're always doing VA loans, but VA loan's pretty cool.
Watch.
I think it's the most amazing loan out there. That's what I've been saying for years.
Yep.
Most amazing loan I've ever seen. Dave Ramsey has a slightly different opinion, and well, see for yourself.
I don't want to one of those, no, it's without the data points.
Assuming. When I saw Dave say what he said in this segment, I just imagined Andrew's head exploding. And
You need to know more about technology than.
Yeah.
Oh, plug it in, buddy. Plug it in. Come on.
But one of the biggest challenges is in VA loans and the marketing of VA loan organization is that there's a lot of myths and a lot of misinformation that's out there. So combating that becomes a regular part of your veteran advocacy, and providing the correct education, the correct information about how this stuff works becomes a regular part of your veteran advocacy, especially if you're in the mortgage business. And this is just one example. I'm sure everyone who's tried to do a VA loan has had an offer refused or not looked at or something like that. This is one example on a macro level of a big force that's sort of working against us.
All right, so just real quick, Dave Ramsey says that the VA loan is the worst loan out there, and obviously I wanted to kick his ass. Now here's the thing. I wanted to tell you what, we talked about this. This is a great opportunity to advocate for veterans in the VA home loan benefit. When Derek and I talked about doing this, I said, listen, this is where this is my recommendation. I said, Dave Ramsey I think does do a lot of great work. I think he's helped probably 1 million people avoid what would otherwise be a complete financial train wreck. He's getting to get out of debt. He's had to build some financial stability. I also know that guy's a Christian and he really cares about them. He's got a massive organization. He does a lot of good and gives back. But I really disagree with him, what you're about to see. The key here was this, is I didn't want to just come over and just hit this guy over the head. I just wanted to professionally disagree, right? So, you tell me if you think we did that.
Enlarge that screen, will you?
Yeah.
What's that, Derek? Dave Ramsey, who hosted the Dave Ramsey Show, a very popular and well-known financial talk show host, has been saying a lot of things about specifically the VA loan, which is what you are an expert in. And he hasn't had exactly great things to say about it. So what I'd like to do is play for you the clip. This is from YouTube, from Dave Ramsey's channel. You can see, you want to pull, just go ahead and show it, Jake. It says right there, the Dave Ramsey Show. Okay, so I didn't upload this. This is their upload. This is their content. And I'm going to play a snippet for you here. Now this is a veteran who's called in. Both him and his spouse are veterans. And they've been listening to Dave for a couple of years, and not everything Dave says is wrong, not everything he says is bad, okay? They've saved some money, they're going to be debt-free, they're attributing that to him. But they're asking him, because they're moving, if they should rent or they should buy, and specifically if they should buy using the VA loan. So that's a little bit of background. Now listen to this 20 or 30 seconds and you can hear exactly what has caused all of the hubbub.
So the question is, do we buy now and get that extra? The way I see it, there's two positives. There's the equity we get in the house, plus I start saving for retirement 2 years ahead of time when I move in baby steps 4 and 6 at the same
Except
time.
for the fact that you're moving in a house broke.
Yeah.
Which is just so dangerous, it's unbelievable. You're asking for trouble, and the VA loan's a more expensive loan anyway.
What?
It's not a bargain. It's the worst loan out there as far as the three, VA, FHA, and conventional. Conventional's the cheapest, FHA next, and VA last. The only reason anyone ever does a VA loan is because they don't have any money. And you get a nothing down deal with that. That's the only reason anybody uses their VA loan. Thank you.
So
So smoke coming out of my ears?
yes, there is, and there should be. So he's saying the VA loan is the worst loan. Let's quote, the worst loan out there, the worst loan, and the most expensive. Where do I begin? Dave Ramsey, you have it wrong. And you got a great following, so you're really good at marketing, but your facts are incorrect here. And the thing that frustrates me the most about this clip, and by the way, this is Dave has said this many times. This is one of many clips. He continuously and so emphatically and smugly, like in a complete lack of humility, just dismisses the VA loan as the worst loan out there. And it's just flat wrong. So first he says that it's the most expensive loan out there. That's just simply not true. What you need to understand is that, let's look at, well, there's three loans, conventional, FHA, and VA. The FHA loan is the most expensive loan out there because the FHA loan has both an upfront mortgage insurance premium that's paid and a monthly recurring mortgage insurance. The FHA loans upfront is 1.7%, 1.75, which is a little bit lower than the VA, assuming you're going 100% financing. But it does also have a monthly recurring mortgage insurance that never goes away for the life of the loan. And the VA does not have any monthly mortgage insurance. And it's a big amount. It's not a small.
Correct. That's right.
It's a big monthly mortgage insurance amount.
I can't get inside Dave Ramsey's head, and I certainly can't understand why he would make such a ridiculous statement and then not really back it up. But I can only assume that what he's referring to when he says that the VA loan is more expensive is that he's referring to the VA funding fee. The VA does have what's called the VA funding fee. It is a one-time fee that is paid to the VA, and it is rolled into the loan. And that is what pays for the VA home loan program, by the way. There's no monthly mortgage insurance, but there is a one-time VA funding fee. Unless, of course, you have a VA disability rating or you receive a VA compensation, and then the funding fee is waived to zero. So the clip we saw just 2 days ago, that was not the one you just showed, Dave did say it slightly differently. He said, it's the worst loan out there. He did say that. It's the most expensive loan out there, unless you have a VA disability rating. So I can only deduce that the reason he thinks this is because of the VA funding fee. But what you have to understand is that with the conventional loan is a lot less forgiving to credit blemishes, and so the interest rate that you get is both dependent on your credit score and the amount that you put down. So if you have a 675 or a 680 credit score, you're going to get an incredible interest rate on the VA loan. And on the conventional side, because of the credit scores, you're going to have a much higher interest rate. And unless you put 20% down, you're also going to have mortgage insurance on that conventional loan.
Which you don't have with the VA loan.
Correct.
Never.
That's right. Yeah. The FHA loan, the monthly mortgage insurance never goes away. It stays on for the life of the loan. Keep going here, but many of you guys are smart enough to know a lot of the benefits. I just say I keep going on to talk about, Dave talks about, well, how long are you going to be there for? 2 to 3 years. So what? So if a guy is only going to be in a duty station for 3-4 years, he shouldn't buy a house. And so what? Over the course of a 20-year career, he should just never buy a house. Or he shouldn't only buy a house if he puts 20% down. Well, here in San Diego, median home price is over $500,000. So how long does it take an active duty service member to save up $100,000 after tax? So it's going to miss out on home price appreciation. It's going to miss out on the mortgage interest deduction, right? It's going to every payment he makes is paying down. We all do loans, right? So you know what I'm talking about.
Well, he actually says that it's better to rent than it is to buy.
Right.
Period.
So the loan is an oxymoron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And with the military family, it's their home.
Yeah.
It's
right.
not a rental property. It's literally where the kids come home after school, and that's big.
Huge.
So they can't be kicked out of when.
Well, hold on. Listen, we could all have.
Yeah. There's lots of
let Andrew finish.
So there's lots of good points here. And by the way, so this is what I want you to do. One, on a big picture, not related to this specifically. This is just an example of the kind of things I do on the Andrew Paul Veteran Advocate Show. I just find this is one of the few times I'm actually overlapping on loan stuff, right? It's just a rather cool opportunity because I can talk about what I do actually for a living, but otherwise I don't really talk about that stuff too much because people, they just aren't interested in it. This,
Okay, let me make this point for you because I know he wasn't doing it to go get a loan. The reason he got fired up was because people listen to Dave Ramsey like it is the word of God, right? And if he says it, it must be so. That could have had a catastrophic ripple. Probably does anyway, regardless of what us few say. If we don't stand up and back it up with, that's why he did it, because he was a veteran advocate. He didn't go get a loan. He did it to make sure veterans weren't confused and that agents weren't going to just on them because of that statement.
so
Somebody
then,
bring that to your attention? Did somebody send you that video or?
I think, was it Chris or you find it first?
You said
No, I saw Chris post it in
Yeah.
Hawaii, and I shared it with a few folks, and a bunch of you guys all piled on, and Jay piled on.
Oh, no, I went right
Everybody
to it. I
started
responded
posting
on
it.
YouTube.
So I want
Yeah.
you, listen, I want
Chris
you all,
put posts out there, I saw
so
it.
big picture, this is the type of stuff that I do on this thing, right? Now, specifically as it relates to this, I want you all to pile onto this thing, all right? I mean, if you believe in this, if you agree with me, if you all, I mean, go do a similar video.
Anytime you need LOs to pile on, you let me know.
Do it. I want you all to pile into this thing.
I'll run the
I
troops
want you
up.
to
I love
comment
that.
on. So here's the thing. This is a bit of a risky video. You know why? Because people follow Dave Ramsey. Like if he said it's time to, the aliens are coming, it's time to drink the Kool-Aid and die, like they would. This thing, we did this. Look at 15,000 views already. We shot this video the 8th, 10 days ago. 15,000 views, 221 comments, 200 ups and 221 thumbs down. Because there's that many people who out there. I mean, I said something about Dave Ramsey.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
But something that Jocko said, we never been ready to leave our rock. You know, you could have took the easy way out. My guys are leaving tomorrow.
Yep.
You know, a lady came up on the car to Dex. Do we go after it, or we just let the transition team go? And his response was, if we don't do it, who will?
Yeah.
He knew that they could lose some of their guys before they went home. So going to what you were just saying actually feeds into that. If you don't say that, people just assume
That's right.
take the easy way out. Yeah, Dave said it. Don't worry.
Does
about
this not feed into all those myths and misunderstandings and misconceptions that people have about the VA home loan benefit? Take this one as a specific example. Go home, do the same video, pile into this video. Bro, I got 200 freaking comments in here, and easily, how many of these are like, they're like, I'm the a-hole.
200 probably.
Really? Yeah, I'm the a-hole.
Yeah, Ramsey
So,
homers all over.
y'all, get in here. I need some backup right now. Right, but this is how we need, this is the messaging that we need to do. This is a perfect example of what it means to be a veteran advocate. I mean, look, if a dude's got 20% down and he's got a 760 credit score, probably conventional would be a better way to go, especially if there's that much fee, right? But that's our job. That's our job to sort through that. But for Dave to sit there and just so smugly just go, why would you do that? That's the worst loan out there. The only reason anybody gets a VA loan is because they're broke. And now how many listing agents and sellers think, well, I don't want to accept that VA offer because that's a weak buyer. They're broke. All right, so y'all, we need your help on this. But this is an example of what we do on there. And then I bring veterans on. We talk about their transition. I bring veterans on who are in business. I talk about their businesses with them. And then that is basically it. I'll leave you all with this topic. I'm here to serve all of you. And then it is a grind, this business. But there's a famous quote that says, let us not become weary of doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we cannot give up.
Now hold your applause for a second. Because he talked about when the instructors were on the catwalk, he talked about the SEAL platoon commander that got fired.
Oh, the chief, yeah.
Chief got fired, right? In football, who's ever played football? You know, is your spot guaranteed? No, you got to earn your spot every day. When you become an advocate or a specialist or known as something like that in your industry, such as Dave Ramsey, right? Sometimes you can become such the face of it that you get complacent. And when you get complacent, bad things happen.
Complacency kills.
It kills.
was
right?
going to comment.
Does he sound complacent when he talks? I believe Dave Ramsey 100% when he first started out and for a long time was always in the trenches, always in the facts, always in doing that. That's how he created a following. But then people just follow him like he's the man, right? Be careful to not do that, right? How many people, when you call and ask me a question, if I give you the answer, you're like, well, Jay, give me the answer, it's got to be good. I've had a few if you say that to me, right? I promise you before I answer you, if I don't know it like right off the top of my head, Fish, what do?
You go to look, first you generally try to look it up.
Right.
26.7.
Where's 26-7? Sitting up on my laptop, like all day long.
Fish.
Yeah.
If Jay doesn't know, that's
My 26-7, I would imagine yours is sitting
How do
up
I
on your
post
laptop
this on my
monitor all day
timeline?
long, right? We've learned how to go to it quickly. I can narrow down your problem in a chapter in a matter of split seconds. I can narrow it down to the specific guideline and topic and section within a matter of minutes because I've learned to go to chapter 4 and skim, and then get to my topic and then dissect. And you all will be able to do the same thing if you apply that stuff. But even if you get awesome, even if you have a show like Andrew, Andrew's never going to get complacent. I guarantee you before he went on there battling Dave Ramsey, you brushed up on right? Like you're not going to go up on that show from memory, which sounds like what Dave Ramsey did.
We got version 2 coming here too.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull out some specifics over time, average home price appreciation, equity built, deduction, tax advantages, and put like a pro forma together. I mean, I can't believe you basically tell a guy in the military never to buy a home essentially.
And what you did was pretty risky because he didn't say Andrew Paul. He said divisional vice president and put his company on there. You're going to go on TV like that.
So look,
You
here's the
better
thing.
be ready,
This is what I believe in, right? So I'm going to plant my pole. I'm going to draw a line and go. This is what I believe in. I tried to do that. You can watch the whole video later. It's like maybe 15 minutes, but I try to do it in a respectful way. Firmly stand for what I believe and dispute what David said. But I didn't just say, oh, you're an idiot. I just said, hey, but you're wrong here, right? So that's the stuff we do on those shows. I don't apologize for saying what I believe in, but I certainly don't go out to intentionally offend anybody. Derek has helped me to do that kind of stuff. He's started helping Jason with that stuff now. And so you can check out Smarter San Diego for a lot of other examples of the kind of marketing stuff that Derek is helping me to do. Yeah, so I mean, that's it. That's the passion that I'm trying to bring into the daily grind of my business. I got to do loans, I got to be good at that stuff, but I got to market and I got to get the word out there so that the marketplace knows and sees me as somebody who truly does care. And if they've got questions, if they need to understand something about the VA loan, I mean, they know darn well. They come to me and ask that question, they're getting somebody who cares, who's going to research, who's going to give them an accurate answer. So borrow, beg, steal, whatever. You all take whatever I'm doing. I'm happy to share any specific tips and how-tos. But
what he did in this video, Andrew was very assertive, right? And the definition of service is you get your point across in a neutral manner, clearly, unemotionally, on purpose.
Jay, what's the root of the word assertive? Just kidding, buddy.
All right, I know we got to probably take a quick break. Are there any questions about specifics on how-tos or any of that? Yeah.
So you've got a great platform with your show. I don't recall seeing any real time videos from you, and I don't know if you do that or if that's something that is your style, or do you do that?
To be fair, I haven't done a whole lot of those. I have shot some videos in the past that I need to frankly rebrand. Just little this about an appraisal, or this is what you do on a Tidewater. Or, I feel like some of those are really good staples. I need to kind of rebrand those. We've found that the Facebook Live stuff, it's good and it's bad. Facebook really likes the Facebook Live, but then it's just sort of gone. Whereas shooting the video and recording it, it kind of has a little bit more of an evergreen to it. Like you can put that onto YouTube. So we try to do both. It's easier just to go live. And then you can once you posted that live, you can go put $50 or $100 behind that video and re-promote that video that you just filmed live. And so that's sort of the method that we're using now, as opposed to just filming something pre-recorded and doing editing, because the editing stuff is what takes the most time. But, so, I mean, you can find a balance there. We found the live version to be a really good balance. Just kind of, if you're comfortable, just go live. You know?
I say go live. There's two reasons. Number one, it's real. You get one shot at it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get to sit there, like you said, and edit it over and over. So it forces you to be on your game, right? And if you stutter or whatever to your audience, it makes you real, right? It makes you have a bond there, like you're not this polished movie star or something like that.
And that is what I would say if I didn't make it clear before. One of the things about doing the videos and doing the Interpol Veteran Advocate live broadcast stuff is I'm not trying to offend anybody, but I'm also not, I'm just going to be me. And people are going to like that or they're not. And for sure there are people who don't like what I say, but I want to align with the people who do like what I say. The people who do like what I say are going to be stronger followers, stronger believers, and more likely to prefer me ultimately. You know, so.
Unlike me, I've never offended anyone.
Only at conferences.
So
Are you
anyway,
good here?
any other questions or anything like that? No? Cool. All right. Thanks, guys.